found the leopards again.
You've got Mvula. I know it's not the best view, but there's a reason that I'm sitting still for now. I very strongly believe that this female is Xiluva. She doesn't look like Tsakani, but what's happened is they've become separated in this monkey orange. She's not skittish, but she's not 100% relaxed with us. So we're just going to sit tight for now, and we'll wait for him to lure her back to him. She's not going to resist his attentions for long. But I do want to just hop on the Game Drive channel and let Ephraim know. Ephraim, when they do pop out, he's gone static for now. I don't know where she is. I've lost visual of her. She's not 100% relaxed. He's having a little bit of a clean. I think we can go forward a bit, just to get a view of his beautiful face. Yes, what a marvellous way of starting off a morning then with mating leopards. Definitely not where I expected the morning to go, but I'm thrilled nevertheless, and he's being very kind to us. He's lying down. So let's reposition once to get a view of him, and then we'll stop and we will wait. How's your view there, Brian? A bit further forward. Oh yes, sorry. There we go. I see. Perfect. And hello to Shamsun as we look at the glorious leopard in front of us. Yes, leopards do have barbed penises. It's just that these two have been mating for a while, and that's why there's not the same level of aggression. But when leopards first start mating, they are actually angrier than lions when they do mate. This is what's known as induced ovulation. It requires regular mating and stimulation of the female. Hello, boy. We still don't have an ID on the female. Look, he's actually got fresh blood on his shoulder. And probably where she's turned around and scratched him. Hello, boy. Where's your lady friend gone? There you go. You can see the matted injury. Now, for Mvula to be mating, we have an extraordinary tale to tell you about this particular male. He is a dispersal male at this point. He's no... Oh, there she is. There she is. Screenshots, everybody. Let's figure out which leopardess this is. Oh, girl. There we go. Incredible sound effects that accompany a leopard mating. There you go, James Richard. James Richard thinks it looks like Xiluva. I don't know what Xiluva looks like, to be 100% honest with you. It's definitely not Tsakani, you are right. This leopardess is too old to be Tsakani. And we've also got a view of the yellowed teeth of Mvula. Oh, this is so awesome, a new leopard. So exciting. Okay, let's keep up with him once again. I do need to get hold of Brent. He's been trying to come and help, but I can't because there's a conversation happening on the Game Drive channel. Okay, girl. All right. Go ahead, Brent. Brent, we're quite far up Gari Cutline, or quite far north up Gari Cutline. I'm not even sure you'll have signal here, but keep coming. I'll let you know when I've got your audio. We must be very close to the fire break. Sorry guys, just helping Brent get into the sighting. The reason we're putting two of us in here is just because we run the risk of losing these two marvelous leopards, and this is too exciting an opportunity to miss. To have Mvula, who was the dominant male in this area, mating once again with his lovely lady friend, his mysterious lovely lady friend, is just too marvelous for words. This is actually the first time I've ever seen Mvula mate. I arrived just at the point where Tingana became dominant in this area and actually started to push him out of his normal territory. And at his age, Mvula is reaching the point at which he will no longer have these opportunities. So to see something like this is absolutely marvelous. Mvula used to be essentially the king to Karula's queen. Now, who is this, everybody? I think Xiluva. Whoever she is, she's certainly... Oh, look at that beautiful face, green eyes. She's certainly enthusiastic about him. Him less so, as always. Awesome. Thank you to Ellen Fowler, who says that it is Xiluva indeed. World, meet Xiluva. Xiluva, meet world, although she's more distracted by Mvula, who's showing her every enthusiasm that we've come to know and love of male leopards. Okay, if you insist. This is so us. Oh, they've definitely nearly reached the end. They've both got empty bellies, and she's not nearly as violent as she might normally be. Awesome, awesome. Such a stunning sight. It's nice to meet you, Xiluva. A different leopard to add to... What an incredible week I've had. Quarantine, Xiluva. To see Mvula mating again. Look at her nicked ears. Those are very, very easily identifiable. That right ear, we'll always know her in future. And is Ingwe now mobile again towards Gari Cutline? Yay! What an awesome morning! Definitely a good way. Definitely a good send-off, eh, Brian? The best. The wonderful thing about mating leopards is when you find those tracks, when you find those fresh tracks, you know you're going to find them because you know they are going to make a noise. Brent, have you got my audio? No. Copy that. I can hear you. I think it's you I can hear. Copy. Where those Franklin are calling, that's us. So just helping Brent out in terms of our positioning and helping him get into a good position to help us. That's affirmative. I think stand by there for now. I'll let you know if it gets too thick in here for me to follow them. They're flat for now. Yay! A new leopard. Is this the first time you've seen Xiluva, Brian? Second time.
Was a brief.
Okay. Hello, girl. She's definitely a first for me. Oh, exhausted. As I said, I think this is the end of their mating period. Now, if this is your first time seeing mating leopards, first of all, I'm sure you're struck by the amount of noise. Secondly, the frequency of the mating. And you'll be surprised to hear that this probably has continued over the last 5 or so days, if not even longer. Leopard mating tends to be even more frequent than lion mating, particularly in the early mornings, like this morning, because it's nice and cool for them. And we've seen them with Tingana and Tundi, for example, or Tingana Karula mating every couple of minutes. And I really mean every couple of minutes. I mean every 2 minutes or so. And that is a process of induced ovulation. Oh, well, there we go. We've got an interesting aspect to our storyline. Now, this is something I didn't know, but a page in Tennessee, Mvula is a potential father to Xiluva. So the plot thickens here a little bit, as it always does in the cat world, because they are not bound by our rules of morality, so to speak. It's not Paige's question, of course. Paige is just telling me that, which is something I didn't know. Look, we never know with leopard fathers until the paternity tests are done. Hopefully, I'm really hoping, this is the weirdest sentence I think that's come out of my mouth in a while, I'm really hoping that Xiluva decides to defecate, because then we can collect her scat and we can deliver it to Panthera to do DNA tests on, because of course you never know who a leopard's father is. But if Mvula is her potential father, let's say he is, the disadvantages page, there aren't actually major disadvantages. Not initially. So the cat lions, the leopards and so on, they can usually their genetic structure can usually withstand about 6 or so generations of inbreeding. It's not ideal. So it's interesting that Mvula has managed to stay as dominant as he has in this area. I didn't realize he had, because Xiluva, I don't know how old Xiluva is, but she doesn't look young to me. She doesn't look Tsakani's age, for example. So I'm impressed at Mvula's longevity, because usually inbreeding within leopards is prevented by the males. By the time their daughters are old enough to mate, the males have usually lost their tenure. Mvula is being very bad and bold and very brave to be where he is at the moment. He is right in Tingana Central Territory. But who knows what conversations and challenges have gone on while we've all been tucked up sleeping in our beds. Perhaps there's more to this than meets the eye. Well, we certainly can say that Mvula is not yet done with life. So disadvantages of inbreeding: a lack of genetic resistance, obviously, to disease, because you've got a lack of genetic variation. That is always a negative. You want in any species as much genetic distinction as possible in order to have more genetic resilience to things like diseases. When lions or leopards have been inbreeding for generations, you also get dwarfism, forms of dwarfism. Or Down syndrome becomes more common, or a similar effect to Down syndrome. Growth defects, short lives, weak teeth, weak joints. There's an endless list of reasons why inbreeding isn't really something that is allowed for too long in the animal kingdom. It might happen here. We have, say, 1 generation of inbreeding, not a disaster at all. And of course they're not bound by our rules, so no problem there. Alright, now that they've relaxed and gone flat, let's try and reposition. Now, Shamsun, this is exactly what happens when leopards are mating. The males go wherever they want to, and the females follow them automatically, regardless of whether or not it takes them into another leopard's territory. She's sitting in Karula's territory right now. That might be one of the reasons why. You can see in her body language, a little bit on edge, a little bit jumpy. It's because she's in another lady's territory. And lady leopards don't appreciate that. But the female leopards are not strong enough or brave enough to challenge a male leopard. And a male leopard is automatically very defensive over the female that he's mating with. So what could happen, potentially, is Karula, and it has been seen before on the live safaris, Karula might come and stand and watch. And you can only imagine the thoughts going through her mind. I'm sure thoroughly unimpressed with the presence of a lady, but not so that she would challenge them. I'm going to try and reposition to get us a better view, because we really are in a not great spot. Lovely. So she's younger than I thought she was. Thank you to Ellen Fowler. We are looking at the older offspring of Nkanyeni, the leopard that has still managed to escape me, but currently has one young cub around Cheetah Plains. She was born in November 2013, so she's nearly 3. But she is skittish, that I will say. For a Sabi sand leopard, she's not 100% comfortable. So she's got a spot pattern of 3-3, and Xiluva, by the way, which is something that we knew, means flower, which is a lovely name. So Xiluva the flower, beautiful name for a female leopard. If somebody could explain to me how Shumbambalana came to be called emerald spotted wood dove, just by the way, that's something that's been interesting me for a long time. Okay, well, you seem to be okay. Now that I know she's Nkanyeni's daughter, hello girlie, can we have a look at you? Can I stop here? Hey, beautiful. I have never seen Nkanyeni, and this is the first time I have ever seen her daughter. I think it was the moth-eaten ears that sort of gave me the impression that she wasn't very young. But now that I look at her, this is absolutely fascinating. She just looks totally different to the Karula line of leopards, or the immediate Karula line, female line. Face is much more elongated. She's stunning. This is truly wonderful. He is totally hidden. We're still not in the best possible spot, I know, with the sun behind them. So I'm going to keep trying. I just wanted to stop and get a view of her and also gauge her behavior, since she is a leopard that I'm unfamiliar with, and I want to make sure that we don't make her uncomfortable. But I think what we can do now is we do a bit of a longer loop, and we will get all the way around to the other side and have a slightly better view. The tricky thing, of course, with positioning a vehicle with mating leopards is as soon as they decide to mate, they immediately move, and they almost invariably move somewhere more tricky. Now, one last look from this angle at the lovely Xiluva.